right, you guys, I'm hoping that this works. Let me see here. A couple more adjustments. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Well, now it's too high. Oh my goodness. Hello, Peg. Hello, Susan. I got to get in here and chat on my phone here. I thought it was working, but I'm not in on my chat here. There we go. Oh my goodness. Now I can see you guys. Hi, Paula. Happy New Year to you too. Thank you for the love, Susan. I missed you guys also. Howdy from rainy Rochester, says Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. Martha's here. Laura's here. Welcome, welcome. Michelle is even here. Wow. Marjorie, hi from snowy Holland, all the way from Holland. Patty's here. Cameron, that's my hubby downstairs. So Cameron Vanderstoop. Hey, honey. I'm so glad he's here to support me. But I'm glad it's working, you guys. Going back and resetting everything up the last couple days has been a lot. And I was like, I just hope it works. So right when I logged on, everything shut down. It went boom. And I was like, oh no, is it not going to happen? So I'm really, really glad to be here. Chrisella's here too. Pam's here. Hi, Pam. Well, I think I've said hi to you all. I'm so happy that you're all here and everyone's chatting. That's amazing. How are all of you? Many of you have been here since the beginning. My goodness, I have really had a lot of time to reflect on my journey over the last couple of years. Ari's here. Welcome, Ari. I definitely took probably the most amount of time off than I've taken since I have started, live streaming. And I really have been doing a lot of journeying in the sense of like understanding my nervous system, understanding how I work, what I need. And so it's a constant like moving around, figuring out how the journey feeds you and how it can, take a lot from you. And so I've been doing a lot of that type of acknowledgement and just really giving myself time to rest. And I think I really needed it because I did the Connecticut in-person retreat, which I loved, but that took a lot from my nervous system. I will say that's probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. And then I went from the Connecticut thing, I had a month off, and then I went into the Golden Residency. Now, if you want to take your life and put it in a blender and stir it up and really work through a lot of things, that residency was amazing, but it also gave me a lot of insight and a lot of, processing. So then I went from the residency, which was 2 weeks long, and once I got home, I had to go straight into the holidays. And I only had 15 days into the holidays. And so once the holidays came, I'm like, I'm out. I'm done. I finished. I love my community and all of you guys, but we have to definitely recharge ourselves. And I don't think I've ever done that much stuff that made me process so many things. So I am absolutely thrilled to be back here. I do know the thing that I love the most out of everything I've built in this community is you guys. And I'm still keeping my 2 lives per month. I'm doing 2 lessons per month for my Pastel Insider, and that is still going. But what I've done is I've created a lot more breadth in my creative process and my structure of my business. And I think that's really going to start, helping me feel more balanced. So I'm absolutely thrilled to be back. Let's see. Oh my goodness, we have Francine here. So glad that you're here, Francine. We got Faye. Faye, I think it's your first time in chat. Welcome. So glad that you said hi. And Karen's here. Hello, Karen. And then we got 2 rabbit ears. Greetings from Georgia. So glad that you joined us today. This is, I think, their first time in chat. Welcome. Louise. Oh my goodness. Hi, hi, hi. Wow, we have a lot of you in here from the beginning. It is lovely to see you guys. I feel very held and supported because you guys have been an amazing part of the whole journey. So I've been, a lot has changed and a lot has evolved over the new year. And I'm sure, that goes with everybody in their lives. We're always changing, always expanding. And these lives have been one of them, I have shifted the lives to be more community-based, more of just exploring and connecting with you guys. And I think that has been a good shift for me also. And I am really excited to be able to share what we're going to be playing with today. I mean, how many of you in chat have been looking at these Sennelier Woodless Pastel pencils? Raise your hand in chat. They are something that caught my eye. Someone shared it in a Facebook group a while back. And so I have been wanting, my dog is acting funny. Sonny, you're okay. Come lay down. You're fine. Come on. But I've had my eye on the Sennelier pencils, and you know me, I love everything soft pastel. So I had to get these. I got them before I went to the Golden residency, and then I couldn't play with them. So let's see, even chat here. Cheryl says, I love that gnome. Oh my God, I need to do that painting. I have so many planned. Well, this is the gnome that I have a few lessons that I'm going to share with you today in my Pastel Insider member. But before I go into that, I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're going to do so you guys know what we're going to do. Patty says new to me. Okay, they're new to you. Laura says, I bought some of these pastels and been looking forward to see what you think of them. Yeah, I'm excited about them. Let's see. Michelle says, welcome to the newcomers. You're going to love it here. Yeah, I'm really excited to have all of you newcomers here, and it has been an amazing journey. I've been live streaming for, it'll be 2 years. I think September, it's been 2 years, and then, yeah, something like that. It's been a long time. I've been doing it for a while. I think 2 years is the Pastel Insider membership in February. And then September is 3 years live streaming, which is kind of crazy if you think about it, because a lot of you guys have been with me from the beginning. Correct me if I'm wrong, because my brain is not totally there. It says, Karen said, I ordered them and then canceled my order after reading and watching negative reports on YouTube. Oh, well, that'll be interesting. Well, we'll see what we think today. I'm kind of interested in playing with them. Yeah, Sunny's forgotten the routine, Pam. We gotta get him straightened out. Francine said she's heard mixed things about the pencils. Cheryl says, I need to see if Mary Artist carries them. I don't think they do. I had to order them off Blick. I'm not sure if they carry them because I do have that coupon to save 10% by using Dawn VS. You can save on your pan pastels. You can save on, I have a supply list. I have that linked in my lives. I don't think I have it linked below today though, but I should definitely link that. Let's see. Has it really been that long? I don't know. I know that it was a year on, I think it's going to 2 years now that I'm thinking about it. I think it's that. I feel like it's been like a year and a half to almost 2 years, but I think we're going on that, not the other, now that I think about it. Oh, Faye's here. Greetings from a scorching Melbourne. Oh, so is that Arizona? Expecting 107. Wow, that is hot. Okay, Katie's here. Welcome, Katie. So glad that you made it here today. Wow, we got 34 of you in here. This is awesome. 36, 34. Okay, so I really think that I know that these are really hard pastel sticks. They're woodless. I have dappled with them just a touch. Like I haven't touched them on my UART paper yet, but I did touch them on this paper, which is one of my new favorites that I've been exploring with. It is a hot press watercolor paper. And I've been doing a lot of different things with that on my own. I'm really trying to explore more on my own and do that type of thing. And so I've been doing some interesting things with these. I'll probably be sharing that more on social media when I finish a piece or stuff like that. But I will show it that. And I know they're pretty hard. So I would say they're probably the hardest pastel stick out there. And I can tell by that by just touching them. But what I'm going to do is I have this cool box. The box is like really fancy. It's a magnet clipped box, which is nice. And then you open them up and we have where we get the 2 sets in here. Now I got the half sticks because I don't need those long sticks. I'd be breaking those long sticks in half because I don't really want to use the long sticks because I think that's just too long. I think they tried to go after a pencil vibe because this size almost looks like a crayon, which is cool. I don't mind that. You know, I'm just going to keep them in this nice thing. Now I got my video camera here to where you can see them. And then I'm also going to share them up close here in the actual screen. So what I'm planning to do with these is I have a few different kinds of papers. And I thought we could do some mark making and some playing around, maybe even add some pan pastel on the lower layers, go on top, see what that feels like. But what I know for one thing is that hard sticks are more for down below. They're more on a bottom layer. So we're going to explore that and play with that. I do love the range of colors, so that's exciting. And let's see here. We have a couple. Oh, it is Melbourne, Australia. Okay. Katie says, I have 3 of the pencils. They're fine. I like them with mixed media, like on watercolor. Okay. Is Ruthie here? Ruth! Oh my gosh, Ruthie is one of the students I had in Connecticut at the art retreat in person. So I'm so glad you made it, Ruthie. You got your alarm set. You're here today. I missed you. She is like basically, well, her and Pam and Laura, we all were there. And Ruthie was just a ball of joy. She's just a big smile. And she just was really fun to meet. All of you guys were, it's just, I haven't talked to Ruthie in a while. So glad that you made it. Let's see. Karen says, I saw them demonstrate on top of pan pastels and they didn't work very well. I'm sure that's because of the paper, Karen. But we're going to talk about that today. They're in my cart, but I haven't pressed go yet. I watched several YouTube reviews and I think I'm going to get them. Yeah, you know, a lot of these products, you guys, are all about what you want from the product. So for me, what I am excited about is they're going to create a really thin line. They're hard, so they're going to last a little bit longer. They're going to be super soft. I can be more sketchy with them, those types of things. But before we go in there, I'm going to clear this up because I have to put the paper on here and remove this. So I'm going to put in the chat here a link to. This is a lesson. I did 3 since we've done a live for my Pastel Insider membership. And this membership's on my website. If you want to dive deeper, you want to learn more, and you want to really be guided on your soft pastel journey, I include the line art and really step-by-step breaking down how I use pan pastel with pastel pencils. That's kind of the main. This new year, I'm going to be bringing sticks into the picture, which I'm really excited about. But I have over 85 lessons in my Pastel Insider membership. And you can join month to month, and it's really a great opportunity to just explore and learn the medium with some guidance. So this one right here is called Keeper of Wonder, and it's my latest one that I've done. And then I also did 2 others, which I'll share here real quick. I did this, I love this format because I have a frame for it. This one is Soul Spectrum. And we learned a lot about like the clouds and how to do clouds and color, relating to color, and more on a deeper level with symbolism and understanding what color can represent and going deeper. So I talk a lot about that in my lessons and everything like that. So let's see. Oh yeah, I haven't even sharpened them yet. I look forward to that. Oh, Loretta's here, just popped in after a brief walk. So glad the sun is out and the rain is gone. Oh, we're going the other way, Loretta, but I am so glad that you made it here today. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Mary. He was fun to do, and you make the glass so easy to do. Well, thank you, Michelle. I hope that I, taught it in a way that really allows you to create glass, because this one with the glass, you would think it would be harder, but I really break it down into some fun ways to do a glass. I have a terrarium class and all that, so I love playing with glass. So this one's the Soul Spectrum. That was a lot of fun. And then the other one I did, this was asked for a lot of people, is I did this, it's called the Creative Voice, and we go on this journey to do like an unfinished look, more raw, like trying to keep your work a little fresh, a little, how to know when to stop, that type of thing, and really kind of push, the figurative into more whimsy and rawness and mark making. So I had a lot of fun with this one. This one was one of my favorites to do. And a lot of these are beginner friendly, so you can definitely go try out the membership, see if you like it, and you can check it out. So I'm going to put that link in here, and you can check that out. Love the Creative Voice. Do you teach that style? Well, yeah, Mary, this is the actual lesson. So that's a great question. This is the lesson. I teach you. I have over 85 lessons in my Pan Pastel membership. It's called the Pastel Insider. So it's $19.99 a month, and you go in and you can try it out. You get full access to all the lessons. And this one's called the Creative Voice, and I guide you through. And you also get like a getting started guide. Quite a few of the people here in chat are part of the membership. So like you can see, like Francine says, she's my favorite, next on the list. So yeah, I'll put the link in here. I'm going to pin that link, and then you can check it out. But yeah, that's my main thing is my Pastel Insider membership. And so it has been something that this February, I'll have 2 years worth of lessons and classes in there. All right, so we've got all those we went over. So now I'm going to bring some papers in. Oh, Cheryl, I love my membership. So informative and easy to learn. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. It's definitely a place that you can just go and relax. It's not about producing. It's not about, always making something. It's about, even if you go in there and you watch the videos, you're learning like that too. So it's really about a place that you can nurture your creativity and get inspired. So that's my whole goal with the Pastel Insider membership. So I'm going to put the link here, and you can check that out. I can't talk today. I'm a little rusty, but my now it's not letting me copy and paste. Of course not, right? So my actual computer does not let me copy and paste things in there, so I have to do it by my phone. So thank you for waiting. Here it goes. There we go. All right, so that is going to be pinned to the top. Oh, there we go. All right. It's great membership, probably the best and most generous content I've ever been a part of. Oh, thank you, Francine. I need to add, you guys are so sweet. I need to add more testimonials. I know you're one of my testimonial people. Michelle says, I have so many to do on the list. Oh, I love that. I'm glad that she's your favorite. That makes me feel good. Laura says, I found them more difficult to sharpen. Okay, we're going to check that out. And it says, but I like them as a harder pastel in the UART. Yeah, I think that's where we're going to be going with it. Michelle says, what did Michelle say? I want to make sure I get that. He was fun to do. You made the glass so easy, but then someone says I haven't created in months. Oh, there we go. That's why. Because yes, Michelle, I have not created in months. Well, we're hoping that we just, ease into the new year. This isn't about feeling about being behind. This is, this community is about being supported. And a lot of times these explorations can be really just a lot of fun to kind of bridge that gap and to wake up your supplies and feel more connected. Now, when I'm going through my choices of what I'm going to pick out, I usually go towards whatever I gravitate to pick first. I really kind of like this muted green. Let's see. Looks like they have the, they don't have the numbers on here. So that's interesting. There's no ID number on the small one. So that's a little weird. So I'm going to go in here and just kind of see what they feel like. Now, to me, what I'm really liking is this thin line. So these are both UART 600 grade sanded pastel paper. And your paper makes the difference on how your journey is going to be. So if you would ask me what the most important supply is, it would be the paper. Because whatever paper you use, it's going to have limits. And so those limits are layering, blendability, just ease of use, how it grips the pastel. And for me, I just like showing up and exploring, especially with new mediums. So this is the ivory. Now what I love about the black is I teach mostly on black, the UART black, because I just love it, because the black is like an underpainting for me. So, you know, you can definitely learn more about that when you're in the membership, because I go deep into that. So far, I'm really liking it. Now let's go into putting a couple layers on and seeing what that feels like. Now, you guys don't have the view of my pan pastels because I put you in the view of the pencils. So know that I have a whole palette up here of pan pastel. And I'm just going to go and kind of do a mirror of it and just see what that feels like. Now I have a couple layers I might want to do, because that really tests out a pencil. So I'm going to put double layers on here. Now usually on double layers, if I'm working with, let's see here, we'll put a third in. Why not? We'll just do a little test on all three, because I have a Clairefontaine Pastelmat that I can put up here, and I'll just show you where that kind of goes. Now, Clairefontaine Pastelmat is an incredible paper. It just needs, you know, even the Canson Miatentes, velvet. Make sure you have the velvet word in there, not the Miatentes in standard. Now, the velvet, they have their place. So this is the Canson Miatentes above us here, and I'll just, you know, I don't want to zoom out too much because you won't be close and be able to see what I'm actually doing. So with this paper, you get very limited layering. I've seen amazing things done on it. And a lot of times I'm just a more heavy-handed, I just apply heavier. That's just who I am. I've come to accept that. And I am not methodical. I don't like to work methodical. And so knowing that about yourself, you have to get your creative process to work around that. Like, how do you work? What do you like doing? What kind of marks do you like making? And that really can make a difference, is what paper you're using, because I chose the 600 because I don't have to work methodical. I can have all kinds of layers, all kinds of fun. I can erase, I can go back and forth. And so that's why I love it. Now, if I'm working on this, I have to be more thoughtful, more, you know, what am I going to be wanting to do with that? So that is something to think about when you're choosing like papers. And a lot of people aren't putting the paper forward because, say, you're new. So if you're new, you're like, well, that paper costs too much. I don't want to invest in that. And a lot of that is just feeling like no matter where you are on your creative process, you want to use the products that will give you the best experience. And that took me a long time to understand. And so once I found the right paper, my world got unleashed. Even though I might be growing and learning, you want to learn on something that you're not fighting against. It's like working on a really cruddy watercolor paper that doesn't take the paints very well. So that's something to always think about. Let's see. Yeah, you can always erase on the sanded paper. I love that. Let's see. They look like the Caran d'Ache Neo colors from a distance. Yeah, I think they do kind of have that vibe. I have some of those stashed away, but I don't have them right here. Let's see. Oh, yes, Francine. I'm so sorry about your dad. So sending you a big hug. This community is really good about that. Let's send Francine all of our love and support. I'm so sorry about your dad. Boy, you guys are chatty today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up. Okay, here I am. I'm at the beginning. Cheryl says, Francine, I have probably 6 already transferred, waiting to be painted. Well, sometimes, Cheryl, you know, we might just be getting really excited that the transfer stage might feel really good to you right now. So with that, the transfer stage feeling good, you can do a lot of them because you're feeling like, you know, that's something easy, you know what to expect. And going into the paintings can be a little bit like, oh my gosh, is it going to work out? Those types of things. So sometimes we get in certain stages, and that's totally okay. So for me, I like these. If you're using a UART paper, these are beautiful. They're really, really, they go down nice. You get a very delicate, hard line. I think that's what I love about them the most. So let's grab another pencil. Let's grab something close. I don't have all my pencils organized, but I'll just grab a blue. So if I'm working with this is a Carbothello. My favorite pencils core pencils are the Carbothello line. I love the main ones I use are Carbothello, then the Caran d'Ache. Love my pencils. Those are way softer though. And I love my Pitt pencil. Those are my favorite too. So I have the Pitt pencil line, I have the Caran d'Ache line, and I have the Carbothello line. Then I have a few Derwents mixed in there. So these are a medium hardness for the pencil. Now, you can still get a really fine line with them, but it just feels a little bit different than this other from the light one, from the hard pencil. So you can still get a nice, beautiful, fine line with them. I think it's just, you know, something new. And I feel like you can do anything you want with these. The color pigment is quite fantastic on the black. You guys can see why I love black. You have to put all your darks in on there. So let's go up here. Now when I get up to an upper layer right here, I'm on here, it's gonna start skipping once I get it. It's not doing too bad, but if I go and start putting multiple layers on here and I get a couple layers, let me get that up here. Let me use a white so you can actually maybe, well, you're gonna get where this is gonna skip. So see how it just scrapes it? I'm thinking you guys can see that. So it's just gonna scrape on a Clairefontaine Pastelmat. That is because I'm not using the paper in the way it's intended to be used. It's meant to go slowly and methodically, almost like you'll see a lot of wildlife artists like Jason Morgan. I'm sure you've seen him on YouTube. He's very methodically how he goes through and works. So if you watch, I can go in here and I can put layers on here and put those layers, and I'm not being methodical. And then I can go in here with this pencil and it will still go in and let me do whatever I want on this layer. See that? See? I can still get that fine line. I can still do things. Up here, it's dead. It's done. So I'm leaning into how I want to work. So the one thing I did learn, I'm just going to put one of these, I'm going to put this one aside real quick. I'm going to catch up on chat here. Oh, thank you, Michelle, for cheering everyone on. If everyone right now, right here at this moment, went in and liked my video, that's the only thing you really can do during a live is you can like my video. You can't comment. I always love comments, but if you went in there, I'd have over 40 likes on the video right now. So anything to help my channel out. I've been a little, gone. My last live stream, if you haven't watched it, my last live stream was a tour of the Golden Foundation residency where I stayed for 2 weeks. And it was right up the road. You literally could walk a 5-minute walk away from the Golden manufacturing facility. So that was amazing. If you guys have any questions about my residency, the Golden, all this stuff, I don't mind answering them. It was an amazing experience. I'm definitely feel like I've processed a lot, but I think what was hard is I came back and we went right into the holidays. So I have like a whole bunch of reels I need to post. Well, I want to post that I said I'm not going to post these over the holiday of my experience there. So it was an amazing experience. All right, so this is some paper that Legion Art, Legion Paper donated to us when we were at the Golden Residency. I wanted to play with it with my black and white pan pastel, but I ended up working with it a little differently. But what I want to show with you is you can put pastel on this paper. You don't get that many layers in the same way as you would working on a sanded paper, but it's been very interesting to play with. You do get some shedding, just like you would with the other if I go real light and real heavy, but I can do quite a bit on this. So this is a paper I've been playing with and exploring. But watch, you cannot use these pencils on this paper except for just you can do the coloring, like the lines, like I can draw, but once I get into it, it won't layer, especially on top of anything. Like it is done and it's dull. Like look how bright this is here. Look how dull it is here. So you don't get that grip into just a standard, this is a standard paper without any tooth. So here you're gonna have that vibrancy too. The cool thing, let me see here, is you can go on your sides like a stick. I think that's kind of fun. And you don't really get to do that with a pencil like this. I can work on my side, but it's only to a certain amount. And then I have to sharpen it. So I think the benefit is really there is I get to use it like a stick with the sense of getting the side. I could take these, you know, are you guys gonna freak out if I take paper off? Ooh. So let's see if the paper comes off, because I personally don't want my paper on, and that's gonna drive me crazy if it doesn't let me take it doesn't let me take the paper off. Like, what if I just want my stick to be my stick? So maybe it's planning that we're going to sharpen through it, which I don't really want to do. So I will say that's my first negative. I can't take the paper off. So just so you guys know, like I just bought on Facebook Marketplace, I can't wait to share it. I'll share it on my next live, is I bought a cart from Meeden Art, and it's a wood cart and it has 3 big drawers in it, and I'm gonna put my pastel sticks in these 3 drawers, and then it has a top layer for working. It's wheeled so I can wheel it wherever I want, and then the bottom I can put my pan pastels on. So I got this cart and I'm gonna put all my pastels in it, but I take all of I'll show you guys, I don't have any wrappers on my sticks. So when you have stick pastels, you don't work with wrappers. And I guess with a pastel pencil, you know, they're thinking that it's gonna come off. But the only thing I could think around this is to heat it up with a little bit of my heat gun, and then I could take it off. So I'm really curious about how that's gonna work. Let me talk with chat here. Let's see. They do look like the Caran d'Ache colors. An important advantage to sanded paper is it can erase. That's so true, Paula. Yeah, 2025, Francine, I think was a beast for a lot of people. I don't know a lot of people who have been loving 2025. I'm really grateful. So if you guys are into things like Chinese New Year, I guess 2025 was the year of the snake. And then the year of the horse, Francine, I think you'd like that. I think it might be your year this year. The year of the horse is supposed to be like momentum and things, you know, coming to fruition. And I guess that's Chinese New Year's really starts in February 12th. So that's kind of interesting. Let's see. Dawn, that's such a great way to look at the transfer stage. It's like preparing to have a body of work waiting to be explored. So true. Everyone here is amazing. This community has always been just such a high vibe community. So I'm really grateful that all of you are here. Nice to have 45 of you today. I just feel like, oh, everyone's back. That feels so good. Let's see. Jason is the one that doesn't like these, but he always uses Pastelmat. Yeah, if I was a Pastelmat user, I would not like these. Look at them up here. They skip, like they skip bad. Like, oh, well, this isn't Pastelmat. Shoot. Let me grab it. Where did it go? Right here. I'm like, they skip bad. That's a watercolor paper. Here, we don't need to do this anymore. I just wanted to show you guys just kind of what that difference was like and what a sanded paper really makes a difference for. So we're going to put this back in here. So yeah, the vibrancy is really not, you get a little bit of that, but it's just not the same. You can see on the Pastelmat. Now if I go grab a green, it's around the same. That's a pencil. It's medium softness. So look at the difference of application. So if you're used to doing fur and really small details, then you might not like them. Do I feel like there's a real huge benefit of having the hard sticks versus the Carbothellos? If you're new and you don't have the Carbothello line, those are a medium all-around core line of pencils. Get those. Or get the Pitt pencils from Faber-Castell. Love those. They're a little more earthy. Carbothello is a little more vibrant, kind of like a Japanese kind of vibe, but they're amazing. But if you don't have all those pencils yet and you don't have pan pastels yet and that's where you're wanting to go, I wouldn't buy these. I'd buy these as an extra exploration to play with them. I do think they hold their tip a lot longer than something like this, because if I go in here and I do these things, my tip's going to go a lot quicker, and here I can probably hold a tip way longer. I can also sharpen these on their side by using them on their side a little differently, and I think I'll get a lot more versatility. Can I go back in and use the whole thing like a Neocolor? Neocolor, when I'm talking about that, let me grab one. I think these are called Neocolors. All of a sudden, I'm like doubting myself. These are, here we go. These are a harder stick. These are probably right there in the hard. They're beautiful, but see how I can use them on their side? Now, this is considered a hard. And this pastel pencil, there's no pastel pencil that has like this hard of a feeling and application. So I think they definitely filled a gap somewhere that no one has done before. And I like that. I'm glad I bought them. I don't regret buying them. I think I'm going to use them. I like how they feel. So that feels really good. But if you're on this Pastelmat paper, like you can see I just did a little bit here, it just doesn't work on the paper. So your process, like I said, really affects how tools are going to react. So whatever paper you use is your core foundation. It's just like canvas. It's just like anything. It's your foundation of what everything stands on. So if you're not using a paper that supports the foundation of what you're trying to create, then you're not going to have a good time. So let's see here. I'll do some color. Maybe I'll play with and do a little color swatching and stuff like that. That might be kind of fun on the black. I have another black thing. One thing I wondered, but I'm guessing the answer to, did you prefer any of the papers over UART? Oh, at the Golden Foundation. I am exploring, okay, I would use that more in a sense, Luis, as like, did I prefer any of their grounds? Number one, Golden is not, what I've learned, is not about paper. They're all about substrates and grounds and gels and mediums. And so I played with a lot of their grounds. And if I would recommend any ground for you to explore on, it would be the absorbent ground over anything else. The absorbent ground is better than the pastel ground, ironically, when it comes to pan pastel. Can you layer on it a lot? Nope, it's a lot like Pastelmat, but you have to work with it in different ways. When I went into using papers, I'm playing with the Legion papers that I'm going to be exploring even more. I brought all the papers home, shipped them back to me. I've done some work on them, but I'm having to use them in a different, more creative way. And I'm enjoying some of that because it's spontaneity. It's allowing me to work differently. And so I'm not using it the way I've been teaching. So I hope that answers some of your question. I bet being in the Golden's Paints lab was so interesting. 2 weeks, wow. It was crazy. I even have, I'll show you guys if you want. Raise your hand if you want to see the testing swatches that I did at the Golden's lab. It was quite interesting. We learned so much about all their products that I think it could, what their goal is too, is it's something that can affect you 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when you might start working in different ways and things like that. Thank you for the heart. I appreciate that. So let's see. Cheryl says, I'm going to stop by Golden this weekend. Oh, that would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun. They have a great, I don't know if they give tours, but they definitely have a gallery there. They have a little shop and all of that. So that would be fun. Wordless, not paperless. I think we meant woodless, right? I would be breaking, okay, Martha says, I would be breaking the half pencils. Yeah, I know, right? Like you want to break them too. I think that's the one thing I feel, and if the label came off, I'd probably start breaking them and using them how I would use the new pastel. So I think that's this fine line of like, maybe they made the label stick, so you really have to sharpen them. But there are some really great things that I wanted to do with the with these new pastels. Someone was sharpening these and using these as a pencil. So I've seen some cool things done with that. So I'm kind of excited about some of the opportunities that it has creatively, because these are great. Like you can sharpen these too, but a lot of times I'm using them on their side like this to scrub. And you want these harder pencils go on the bottom. You don't use a soft pastel and then go over it with a hard pencil unless you're wanting to dig into it, because that's kind of like a finishing thing. So let's see. How do you keep track of your colors? Okay, Michelle says, how do you keep track of your colors with the paper of? What do you mean, Michelle? Do you mean how do I keep track of like what colors I've ordered, or I don't understand. How do you keep track of your colors with the paper of? Just curious. So tell me about that. Expand on that. Francine's like, let's hope. We're gonna have a good year. 2025 is the year. Louise says, we have been stalking your YouTube waiting. Oh, do you guys want to see that thing? I'll show you. New pastel. That's what I'm talking about. New pastel is the hard pastel stick. I'm just going blank. So new pastel. That's how they spell that. So that's what these are. And I think these are really playing off of it, but I can feel them both. These are harder than the new pastel. They're the hardest pastel I've ever had. Like there's no other pastel that on the scale from soft to hard that is harder than this one. So let's see. I have used the Sennelier's Pastelmat to make grasses that work well, but I agree the UART is much better. Oh, we got some hands raised about I'll go grab those things. Priscilla says paper off, I think. Okay, let me reread that then. How do you keep track of your colors with the paper off? Just curious. What do you mean with the paper off? Like, how do I keep track of color? Oh, then I got it. I don't. I don't. You guys look. Like all my, if you go look at stick pastel artists, like here's these are my new ones I just got. You don't. That is the thing. Stick pastel artists, they don't keep track of them. They unwrap them all. It's not about swatching. You just use them. And then hopefully what you do is you start recognizing the different sizes. And like, I know that this shape is all of the Mount Vision. That's how they're shaped. They're a unique shape. So you learn from just the way they're shaped and how they use and how they perform of what they are. Like I know when I pick up a Sennelier pastel stick. I know when I pick up a Terry Ludwig. I know when I pick up a Diane Townsend. Like I can, most of the time, I think some of the ones I don't know as much as like a Schminky. I can get a little confused on these, but like these are Diane Townsend. These are Diane Townsend. These are Terry Ludwig. That's why they're all in different shapes, is they do that because they are trying to keep an identity with the shapes that way. Now, is it fail safe? No. But I know this is a Diane Townsend. You know, these are very soft. You can see it just crumbled off. But yeah, so if you go watch and see out there, all stick pastelists that I have seen, all have them unwrapped. Very few that I know swatch them or log them like that, unless they are meticulously working. And I tried to swatch them, and I would have a book this thick. Like I'd have a book this thick. I'd spend all my time swatching. So when I started swatching in the beginning, I got really, you know, like meticulous, and I was like, how am I going to do that? I'm going to spend all my time doing that. So you guys wait to the end. In a few minutes, I'm going to share with you guys my, how should I call it? I'm calling them my unicorn pastels. They are one-of-a-kind pastels that I got from Golden that I will share with you before I leave today. I haven't showed them on social media or anywhere, so you'll be the first ones to see them. I will say that you can't buy them. They were a special gift that we got at Golden, but I will share them with you. So I will give you guys a peek of that. So I'm going to go grab those out of the thing. New pastel, yep. Michelle, the drawback to pastel sticks, once the paper comes, it's impossible. Yeah, it's just, but how many times are you guys reordering? I know from my experience, I've only reordered maybe like 5 stick pastels. You don't reorder them as much as you think you're going to reorder them, guys. Like I have a couple here that I'm like, okay, this is a couple while of using. I know this is a Terry Ludwig. I know it's an orange. And before it gets down too far, I'll probably swatch it because I know I'm using it. And I'll go, oh, let's go try to find that color. And then I'll order it. Now, if you know you're going through that color, then you know you might want to swatch it and go look at it. But overall, when you're starting out, you're not going to know that. And then you spend all your time swatching these colors. Like I have thousands of sticks. So that's why I'm building a new system so I can access them easier and do it. They're all kind of stored away. So let's see here. Okay. Yeah, there's none on there. Oh, Sandra's here. Welcome, Sandra. So glad that you made it here today. Oh, thank you, Francine. Yeah, I get it now. Did I just get a super chat? I haven't had a super chat in forever. Oh my gosh. I know, right? I didn't realize what you meant. You're so quick. You're so sweet giving me a super chat. Thank you. I was a little out there. I was like, oh, what is she talking about? It's the first day back. I'm a little rusty. I was nervous today. I'm going to tell you. I was a little nervous. That's so sweet. Thanks for the super chat. We can all heart it. Give her a thumbs up. That's so sweet. Okay, so it's just by usage and remembering. 100%. I don't keep track of any pastel colors. Curious why those pencils are wrapped. There's no identification of color. I feel the same way, Martha. I would say the biggest complaint I have is that they're wrapped and the wrapper doesn't come off. Everything else I like. I don't have an expectation that I think is unrealistic with these pencils. They're hard. They do a detail. They're super vibrant. I want to sketch and play with them. So I'm going to grab another black blank paper and kind of play around and do that in just a moment. Light bulb moment. I know, right? All right, I'll give you guys that swatch thing and show you those things I made at Golden. It'll just take a second. They're right in here. I can talk to you while I'm going into my little storage unit here. I have a little storage unit, and I put these aside, and then I can just at least show you what we made. And they were so nice. I mean, we had 2 basically 3-hour sessions of going over of using product. And so we had one was all about their, let's see here, might fit up here. Okay, so all of their, they gave us this whole like grid, and then we got to use all the different mediums. Let me take down the light a little bit. It's at a +3, which I didn't realize. Yeah, now you can see the crackle medium. So all of these were quite fascinating. We had the gessos, and I did tests on everything using a sphere and doing the same tests on every one of them to see which I liked the most. I did not bring that back home. I donated it to science. But we all really thought this mication iron oxide was going to be a winner. It didn't take very, it likes to be the star. We tried it on, I really liked the crackle paste, but then I put the absorbent ground over the crackle paste to give me something to play on. So yeah, this is a fiber paste that was really interesting. The light molding paste was interesting. You can use just plain pan pastel on it, but you're doing a little bit, you don't get a lot of like details, and no pencils work on it very well. So this absorbent ground was the winner. And it really depends on how you're applying it. So if you're applying gesso or anything like that to play with, like the pastel, the coarse pumice, they also have the fiber paste and then the fine pumice gel. And then they had a pastel ground right here. Now, if you use pastel ground, applying it with a roller, a foam roller, is going to give you a better application. Same with black gesso. Doing a paintbrush, those strokes really kind of come through. So we learned all about that. That was quite fascinating. The other product that was quite interesting to play with was something you wouldn't expect, and that was the So Flat acrylics. Those kind of played and had a little bit of a tooth in them that I thought was kind of interesting. So I played around with that a little bit. So let me see if you have any questions on this one. Yes, you could swatch the colors if you wanted to keep records of the color numbers. I guess I just don't have really patience for swatching as much anymore. I'll do a few swatches when I shift in here to do my next stage that I'm going to play with. I'm going to switch out these papers, and then I'll play around and do some swatching and stuff like that to show you. Yeah, you just don't know. You have to go through and kind of guess. You know, I've had to do that before. Okay, let's see. After many months, I finally found the UART 600s, says Monique. Hi, Monique. Black, but my soft tools are broken. What am I doing wrong? I've never had any problems on the Pastelmat. Well, the Pastelmat's a whole different beast compared to the UART. Now, a lot of it is just application. So I have an application video here on YouTube that will talk about applying using the wands and just getting a really good application. So sometimes you're on a lower layer all the time and you're not getting up off that lower layer, and you might be not loading your wand enough and getting enough product on there. When you're working with Pastelmat, it's a totally different application process. So with that, you know, there's an application video. You can check that out. If I remember, I'll put it down below in the description. And that's probably, I would say, one of the most foundational videos you could watch. I also have it in my free library on my website, which I'll talk about that at the end. Let's see here. Cheryl says, will I be doing another retreat? I don't know when I'm going to be doing that. I had plans to go to Ireland, and with the state of the U.S. and politics and people with traveling outside the U.S., I don't want to go down the political road or anything, but I canceled my Ireland retreat just because I was really having a hard time filling it. And it's just, people are not planning ahead like that far. And I'm newer doing the in-person retreats, so I don't have all of that reputation behind me. I really enjoy doing the one in Connecticut. I got asked to rebook, but I don't know if I'm going to do it. It was a lot. it was a lot. I enjoyed a lot about it, but it also took a lot from my nervous system and just, it's a lot doing 8 people to 10 people in person for 4 days. I learned so much about myself. So right now that's kind of a little bit on a burner. Not to say I won't do it again, but I'm just not sure how I fully feel about it right now. Let's see here. I ordered them standalone from Blick. They arrived broken in shipping. Blick replaced all 7 of them. I was not impressed with them at all. Oh, Claudia, are you talking about the pencils? You ordered 6 of them? Yeah, I would think if they're really hard, they would break pretty easily. And Blick is notorious for not packaging their products sometimes. I have called them and been like, how do you expect that to come in a bubble mailer with my pan pastels just thrown in there? So I think a lot of people just don't know what they are, and so they just throw them in there. Let's see, how many guest artists were you with you? Oh, Paula, I had 2 other pan pastel artists with me at the residency. So Golden doing this residency, we were invited. We didn't have to try out or apply. And normally for their residency, you are trying out, you're applying. It's a whole different vibe. So because they wanted to do some filming and work with us to do some filming for like social media and their website, they invited us, 3 of us, for Pan Pastel. And it was a special event and a special time, and it was a mini retreat. That's why we only did 2 weeks instead of 4 weeks. So it was really fun to be able to go there and share my love for Pan Pastel. And we met so many amazing people too. Let's see. I have lots of mediums, and sometimes Golden has free demos. Yep, they definitely do. Stacy says, so excited to finally get here live. Where are all these things sold? I couldn't even find them on their website. What are you asking for, which products? Because I'm just really here today showing off the Sennelier. The Golden thing is kind of a extra, but all of these are, I know you can find these all at Mary Artist, or you can find them at Blick Art Supply. So this was the other panel we did, and it's all gels. And that was quite fascinating. Now, I really don't have a lot of use for gels, but we still took it anyway. And we learned a lot of different things about what they do, how they protect, and all of that. So that was quite interesting. The color pouring mat was interesting. We even did some tests, which I took some video and stuff of. They created a fixative just to test out of what that looks like and how it affects soft pastel. And clearly it definitely changes it quite a bit. I don't fix my work with any fixatives, but we did some tests and it was really fun and interesting. So that was kind of fun. So the micaceous iron oxide didn't make a good base. No, it didn't, Jen. Peg says, I saw that you had done a face with pastel and crackle. How did you do that? Well, Peg, I played with that. I should definitely do a live that I just talk about all the things I did there. I put the crackle down and then I put absorbent ground over it. So that was a lot of fun. And then I just tested. I just played. That we got turned into scientists. So it was quite interesting. Maybe a small retreat in Portland. Such a beautiful destination. Oh, thank you, Martha. You know, I was thinking about that, you know, just doing something that's a little bit more in my wheelhouse. Traveling all the way across the US was a lot. And I think the time zone change was rough. I had a hard time with the 3-hour time zone change. And that was just a lot to navigate. Whoops, here just a second. I'm just setting up for the next thing here. And so if you don't sleep, if you have challenges with sleep, I think that was probably the hardest part. Okay, so I'm taping up a piece here of UART and why I'm doing that. Wow, we got 52 of you guys here. Holy cow, hello everyone. If you have a moment, like the video down below. I would so appreciate it. And hello, say hi in chat. Would love to say hello to you guys. Let's see. Katie says, my 3 had to be shipped several times due to breakage. They were loose in a box and in an envelope. Yeah, I don't even understand that whole why they're not shipping their products a little more carefully. Mary Artists, I do have them in my other videos down below. I did not put them in today's. They are in my listed, but I have a link to them, and you can save an additional 10% if they carry the products that we're talking about by using coupon code DawnVS. Now I have all my favorite products on a page there, so I will update this live with them at the end. But okay, so I'm going to grab an eraser. And, you know, say this is your paper and you start it out. It's fine. This is just a base. This is all erases off. You can clean it up. And even if that stays on there, I'm fine with that. So this is the UART 600. Let's see here. Wild Willow Fine Art. I haven't seen very good results from those pencils. Too scratchy. I would be down for Portland. Oh yeah, I really think that the expectation of these pencils, we really have to understand how soft pastel is structured to really fit them in to our creative workflow. And I think what is going on is, you know, just even understanding going from soft, you know, from hard to soft is huge in your workflow. So you wouldn't use these on top of anything softer than them. You would only use these on the bottom or by themselves. Or if I'm going to go up on a higher thing, I can use them on top of pan pastel, because pan pastel is a little bit different in the sense. I'm going to grab a different color scheme because I don't want to use up all of my one color here. So let's say I have this one and I just want to, you know, sketch. And I can just start off by sketching right on here. I like how that feels. I like that I can just draw on here. Now this is my bottom layer. I'm not planning on this being my finished layer. So scratchy and being, you know, hard in that way, they are made to be hard and they're made to work that way. So having them be anything else, I think, is a high expectation. So when I go into using my Carbothello pencil, I can't really compare them because they are two different uses. This is a medium hard pencil. So when I work with this, I know that it's going to work on many layers. I can keep going pretty high up. But if I would layer them with this one after a higher layer, you're not going to get that far without them kind of, you know, playing differently. So I like the feeling that they're giving me here right now. Let me just play around. Let's see what other color. I like this one. This looks really pretty. So there's no colors to call out. I will say that's annoying. Like, I really like calling out my colors. So if I go here on the box, you know, I'd have to go like this and go, okay, this is a 94 or an 83 maybe, you know, or it could be the 930. See, so I don't love that. I would like to know what I am working with sooner than later. So that is kind of a negative in my department. Now, I'm not here doing a lesson today. I'm just exploring. So a lot of times when I am doing something like this, I would go darker first. So they don't even have another thing that oh no, here it is. They have a black. Let's see how dark this black is. So this is a really nice black. So how I judge their blacks is where they come onto the value scale. So if we have a value scale, I can't find my normal one, but if you have them right here on this chart, so a 10, 100% black value, A lot of times a pan pastel, for instance, which I actually got to talk to them about this, which is exciting. I actually got to share with Golden my desire for a 10 on the value scale black. So we'll see what happens with that. I got to talk to the research and development, the main guy there. And so that was quite cool. And tell him that I really wanted a darker black. So that'll be interesting. We'll see what happens, see if they, you know, end up shifting that. But you can see that this black is dark, but it's not necessarily a 10 on the value scale. And so if I go in here, you can see how this pencil is a 10. It's really dark. And I could do a lot of, you know, getting my sketching in there, my drawing in there of maybe what I want to make. So I'm not really... So if you like to draw or do abstracts, I think these could be a lot of fun to kind of come up with. Let's see what kind of marks I can get in here. And I'm a huge into layering, so my work is a journey when it comes into that. I love showing the power of layering. I share a lot of that in my lessons in my Pastel Insider membership. So this to me is like a real beginning. I'm just playing. It's kind of like when you're, if you've ever dabbled in acrylic and you do that first scribble on the first page, that's kind of where this is for me. So for that, I'm just having fun and seeing what it can do, seeing what I like. Do I like the feel of it? I like that the tip stays sharp longer. I think for me, I would use these a lot just for that fact. Because my pastel, when it's a medium pastel, it's going to go and get where I have to sharpen it a lot faster. I don't feel like I had to sharpen these as much because I can just use them on their side. And to me, that's really powerful. You know, like I can still keep a sharp pencil even though, because I'm on the sanded pastel paper. So for me, I can do a lot, work longer without having to sharpen them and have waste. So I do know when you sharpen these, you kind of feel like you have waste because you probably want to sharpen them into a separate container, but then you're kind of managing all of that. So it's just a little bit like, okay, so let's see, we have some different grays here. I wouldn't necessarily probably build up a whole painting with these pencils. That's not what I really think that they're for, in my opinion. Seeing how they kind of layer on each other. And then I'll catch up with chat here in just a sec. See what it feels like when I get up a few layers here. How many layers I can get with the pencils. That's kind of interesting to find out. I can clean up a line really nicely with them. I just realized that I made a huge eye and didn't do the eyeball in the color. That's kind of funny. So let's see what happens when I go over it with color. How they mix. That's quite a bit of an orange. Let's go a little darker. That's almost like a dark orange. That's a big eyeball. but it doesn't matter. I'm just sketching and playing around. I can separate them if I want. I'm just seeing and pushing and seeing what it can do. So the layering is quite interesting with it. You can keep layering on, and that's kind of fun. I'm liking how it's layering. And then I can go over with the darkers and push back and forth. I always end up doing an eye when I'm playing with stuff. It's just how I work. Because an eye is just so like a test. It just is for me because I do so many of them that I can really kind of play with the product and see where it's, how it's performing because I've done so many eyes. So yeah, I'm not trying to make a really fancy, perfect eyeball, but it's always interesting to see what it can do. And I can even make the pupil smaller. So, you know, it has a lot of like push and pull with it. Like, I don't mind that. Once you get some layers on there, I think they're fun. Okay, I'm going to check up on chat here, and I'm going to get a drink of water, and I'll still play around with hair and see what else you guys might want me to play with here. Yeah, I think that would be fun, Francine, to play with a crackle paste and absorbent ground. It's just a whole different thing. It's really going into mixed media, which that's not really where I'm at, but I think it's definitely fun to explore. It's definitely something I could do down the road, 100%. Thank you, Michelle, for cheering people on. Jen, I miss you guys too. Thank you for that. Trisha made it. Welcome, Trisha. We're a stressful bunch. Oh, no, you weren't, Pam. You guys were amazing. Like, I don't think I could have asked for a better group for an in-person retreat than I had with you guys. So it was nothing on that. It was just a lot to travel, to teach, to be on. It was Let me see if it's dead. Oh, my mic is almost dead. Just a second, guys. I haven't had that happen. I thought I had it plugged in enough. Okay. All right. Well, I won't be able to go there. I'll have to go here. Let's see if this works. Just a second. Okay, let's see if this keeps it alive. Yep, it says it's charging. So I got my mic. I'm just attached now. Go lay down, Sunny. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, I'm going all the way down in chat. Okay, can you hear me? Oh, good, I'm back. I was about to call you on Messenger. You've been off for quite a while. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, so sorry. My hubby just came up and told me. Am I back? I'm so sorry. When did I stop? Oh, of course this has to be the first live. Okay. So anyone else lose audio? I don't know when that was around or what I was talking. But of course, Sennelier not available. Where did it stop? Did I show the eye? Sound is on again, but I have to say goodnight. It's almost midnight here. Well, take care, Marge. I'm really glad that you came. God, guys, I'm so sorry. I was not catching up with chat, so my husband came up and told me that I didn't have sound. Ah, that's such a bummer. So, sorry about that. I think I was trying to tell you guys about the sharpening, and I wouldn't necessarily, when I was demoing it, I wouldn't sharpen them. I think what I'm saying is that they hold such a strong edge that I don't really feel like I would sharpen them as much as a regular pastel pencil. And I think that is kind of how they are. Like when you use a pastel stick that's strong like this, that's hard, you're using it and it's making an edge as you're using it. So with this, I feel like I would do the same thing. So if I was going to use, like, let's see what this pretty color looks like. There's some really pretty colors in here. Well, let's go to orange, this one. Like, they're just so vibrant. I don't feel like they're scratchy at all. Like, they're hard. That's what they're supposed to be. I mean, I think they're even advertised that on the box. Is that, well, I guess maybe they're not saying that they're hard. Let's see on the back. They don't really say like they're hard, but I knew they were when I was describing them, when I went to buy them and what I heard about them. But they're basically, you know, I think that's what it's about, is that they are a hard pastel pencil. So with knowing where they are on the food chain of pastels, I think that is, you know, where they would fit into your creative process. But, you know, I'm able to do everything that I would want to do with them and more. I can even layer just as much. When I get up to the upper layers, it does start getting where they're hard, and it's only going to take so many. So for me, they work fine for what I would want to use them in. Now, do I have pastel on my face? I don't know. You guys would tell me. I hope so. Let's see. Let's see what I've missed, because has anyone ever heard of the Soho Urban artist? I haven't looked at those. So a lot of the differences between buying like a different brand than like Sennelier. Sennelier is really known for its pigment. I learned a lot about that at Golden too. Just about how, you know, what you're paying for is pigment. You're paying for the richness of pigment. And so if you're using something that has less pigment and a lot of binders in it, that is what is going to be the difference. So I think what the big thing about these is that you're also getting a lot of pigment plus not very much binder in a way where it dulls it. So you can see how vibrant all of these. I'll go through and just use some more of these beautiful colors because they're really gorgeous. Now let's see what erasability is like on these. I love being able to erase on my pastel paper. And they erase off just fine. So that's nice. I can still make changes. But they're very vibrant. Let's see here. I'm really sorry I missed you guys at the sound. I never see pastel on your face, says Chrisella. These were made in China. There was a lot of others. Yeah, it can really affect it depending on where they're made. You should do another larger eye in the larger circle and make it kind of a wonky abstract. I could do that. That would be kind of fun, like another one right there. I think if anyone's not liking them, it's because they don't fit in their creative process with what paper they're using. So, you know, let's see. I wish I could have you vote on like which color I would use, but they're not even numbered or anything. This lavender is really pretty, so I'll play with that. So I'm just gonna, eyes are just like a little football there, like a little wonky one. I can make a whole bunch of them, you know, just do a whole bunch of eyes in here. And you know, you're like, oh, well, I'm not good at eyes or anything, but you know, a lot of people say that, but how many eyes have you made? And, you know, it's all about, you know, practicing. Oh, I'm so glad that Cameron came up and told me that my thing wasn't working. And Louise, I probably wouldn't have gotten the messenger thing because I turned my phone on silent. So I'm going to do a lavender eye with purples. So see how I could use the side and to fill it in. But, you know, I probably wouldn't use them this heavily on the base layer. I think what I would use them for is interesting line work. I'm going to play with... well, maybe this one. This is more of an ultramarine. Yeah. There we go. And it's crazy how fast an eye can really take shape. That's not really dark enough. So you're just getting to know them. I think I'll just do a darker one and then blend it out. I mean, they look scary right now. I mean, look at that. You gotta trust the process. Trust the process. And then I like to bring my spark of life in there sooner than later. That always makes me feel better. But see, I can do everything with these pencils. I don't feel limited, and it's because I'm on the UART paper. The UART paper just really gives you that unlimited possibilities. And I think that's what's most important, is just really acknowledging that your paper that you work with makes a huge difference. Okay, so I feel bad. I feel like I'm chopped up with chat here, and I haven't done both. So sorry if I have not mentioned, if I haven't answered your question. Feel free to repeat your question if I haven't answered it, because I'm a little rusty on chat. I'm not going to lie. Wow, it's fun to see how eyes just kind of pop up. And so I got all these different violets in here. So yeah, I'm going to try to catch up a little bit on the chat, but it's definitely behind today. Oh, and yeah, so you can see that. So I got that all fixed up. Let me see. War paint. Oh, I like that. I had pastel right across my forehead the other day, says Michelle. How much do they cost? I think these were like $84. I think they were around $80. 80 something. Please sharpen a pencil again, says Sarah. About 3 minutes I was out. Okay. You want me to sharpen a pencil again? I think you could see me sharpen the pencil. Ruth Gripe says, we lost you when you were talking about how wonderful our class members were in Connecticut. Feel free to continue telling us how great we were. Oh, Ruth, I love you. You're amazing. You guys were amazing. It was not about you guys. It was about my nervous system. It was a lot. I had a good time. I learned a lot. I just don't know if I'm ready to do one again in 2026. I've been asked back. I told her to check with me on February. We'll see how I feel when that date comes up. But at this time, I'm probably going to just spend the time focusing on you guys, my lives, my Pastel Insider membership. There's just so many things that get put on hold when you travel like that. And I think that I have to find out, you know, am I ready for traveling and teaching that much? It was a lot to kind of manage everything and then be able to continue where I left off. And I think having the Connecticut retreat right next to the Golden one was a lot. So you can't plan everything. This is kind of a fun eye color. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna play with this one. It's kind of like almost like a baby blue, but it's white. So if I slowed down and I was a little bit more methodical and a little bit more connected to my piece, that would be, you know, a different experience. So when I go live, I will say that is a challenge. So yeah, I can do a whole bunch of these fun, crazy eyes. So I like to create my eyes with a lot of the shadow on the top. I like them to have the depth, so I keep pulling and pushing on that. Let's see what it looks like when I put my finger on these. So they do smudge really nicely. I don't necessarily, you know, promote putting my fingers on my work, but I can't help it. I really like to smudge my work. And I will say they do smudge down really nicely. I like that. Like they blend in. So for me, these are a win. For my creative process, I really like them. I think I'll use them a lot. I think I'll play around with them. I don't think that it's a loss at all for me buying them. Are they a little expensive? Sure, but you know, I got the whole half set, you know. See what that's like to smudge on the lower surface. So they do smudge quite nicely. So yeah, let me catch up with chat here. Hi MJ, welcome. So glad that you made it. Question, since you are creating mostly using the woodless pencils by themselves, are you really happy with using them on top of the pan pastels? Yeah, I'll put some pan pastel down and see what that feels like, Karen. If you had a question in chat, please repost it if I did not answer it, because that was just an overwhelming moment. I'll just say up front. And I will answer it if it goes back in chat again, but I don't want to go look back on chat all the way. So I'm just mark making, guys. Like, I'm not like making anything to be beautiful. I'm just having some fun here in mark making. One of my favorite combinations with pan pastel is using magenta and turquoise, and you get this beautiful thing. So I'm going to go, Karen, and I'm going to make some transitions here of how I would like in my pieces and abstracts and stuff like that. I'm going to get some layering in here. And then we will put those pencils on top of the pan pastel and see how that feels. Okay, so we're pretending that we have some layers in here. I'm just going to go over this. We have quite a bit of layers in here, so I can pull this up even a little brighter. Let's say we've got some clouds. Let me bring it over into this black to see how that kind of goes with my pan pastel. So this is the black Sennelier pencil that I'm bumping into to create some shadows. I like that. They blend really well with pan pastel. And so if you're having application stuff with your wand, a lot of it's just how much you're loading your wand. I have an application video for that. You can go check it out. It's on one of my lives, so you have to go under the live tab, and I will link it down below afterwards. All right, so I've just got some colors on here. I guess this is a red iron oxide, so that's what we're playing with here. Let's get those to at least kind of transition a little bit. So I got some good application here. Now we're going to bring some pencils in and see what they're going to do on top of it. I think we're going to be able to go pretty well on top of it. Yeah, they work great. So like I said, these are a win for me. I don't mind them at all. I think they're still work great for transitions. They're very vibrant. And if I want to smooth them down and blend them, I'm going to get that too. So, all right. Chat, is Dawn for the new pencils? Yes, she seems to like them on the UART. Yeah. Oh, Ruth says, would you consider doing a week class in your hometown? That's something I want to think about, Ruth. I definitely want to think about that. Thank you for asking. I think that would be a lot less of a lift to do that, and maybe more of a workshop instead of a full-blown retreat. Karen says, since you're creating... Okay, so now I'm doing on top, so I hope that feels where you're getting a good idea, Karen, of how they're going to work on top of pan pastel. So with the UART paper, so if you just tuned in, I'm using UART. I've tested them out and showed them out on the different papers. Clairefontaine, you only get so many layers. This UART, you get just the same amount of layers. I don't feel like it bottoms out, like I'm even layering up here. And I've layered quite a bit in this eye. I feel like it just started bottoming out on the eye right there. But you can see I can still get these beautiful details on top of my pan pastel. Now pan pastel is unique in that way because, let me show you, if I would use like, let me get a stick. So this is I think this is a Sennelier, I don't know. This one I don't have guessed. So these colors aren't, so like say I put this beautiful buttery color down and this is a stick, right? It's beautiful. It's got some great color, and then I'm like wanting to add more into it. So this is a great test because I already have pan pastel down. I would use sticks on top of pan pastel. And so now I'm going to go in with this harder stick, and it's going to start sloughing it off. But because I'm using pan UART, I can still go over it, guys. And that's a pretty big win for this hard pencil to go over it. Yeah, I like them. They're a win. They're not scratchy to me. They're fun. They're not buttery. They're a hard pencil. They're the hardest pencil out there you're going to buy. But they don't skip. They have beautiful pigment. They are really fun to layer. I don't have a complaint. Have I used them a ton? No. I'm just showing you here of what I'm doing. Let's do a lighter pencil on here. I do think that they would crack really easily if they fell. See, this is what I like. So I have this fine tip. Now I can go in here. I mean, you just can't do that with other pencils. So let's watch. So now I have like, oh, hopefully I didn't get unplugged again. Do I have sound? How do they compare to new pastels? So I already talked about that earlier, MJ. I gave some new pastel tips. They're harder. So I think you just popped in here, which I'm so glad that you're here today. You're always... I agree. If you keep the mindset of the hardness and use them accordingly, they're great. Yeah, you have to be realistic of where they fit into the creative process and what paper you're using, if your paper supports them, and if it doesn't. I think that's what really matters. So here is I'm forgetting I'm plugged in and I want my pencil sharpener. So just a sec. So this is a Carbothello, and I'm looking for my little tray for my sharpening. Here it is. I want to get sharp, but see, here's the deal with this pencil. With this pencil, I don't have to sharpen it as much. Look at this tip. You see it in the calendar, you know, right up there. I think you guys can see that tip. And then I have these that are sharp and hard. They're not going to wear down as fast. So if I go in here and I'm like, okay, I got to sharpen this white pencil to get a tip like it, which I don't usually go that sharp. I usually will try to use an edge. Then I can do the same detail. I don't think the hardness of the pencils replace or are better than the Carbothellos or the Pitt pencils from Faber-Castell. I think I can get the same detail from those pencils. Do they feel different to use? They do. I like maybe when I'm really soft, how they feel when I'm doing scribbles. I like that feeling that they give. Do I feel the same with this pencil? It feels about the same. I don't think you have to have them. I think they're a fun thing to have. I can't really tell you what, because I haven't used them that much yet, that I would buy these over buying my Carbothellos that work with everything. But I am able to go up on all the top layers with them. So I'm getting that too. So yeah. Let's see. Thanks, Dawn, for this great demonstration. Insight to these pencils. I think I'll order now. I had not seen them demoed on UART 600, and the paper certainly does make a huge difference. Yeah, it does. $154, Michelle, in Australia. Are you kidding? Holy cow, that is so much. No way. Wow, that's expensive. I'm so sorry your supplies are that expensive. I agree. Yeah, we did that. Love the blended look, says Michelle. What a great start. Okay, Michelle wasn't a question, but she did say this. What a great start to the new year. So many OGs and newcomers rocking it in the live. Love it so much. You were so missed on. Thank you, Michelle. chat, is Dawn in for, yeah, MJ, I already answered that. And we answered Ruth's. Okay, and I answered Karen's. Priscilla's loving the eyes. High five to you. Loving the eyes. Okay, we lost you. Okay, you guys were amazing. Okay, so I think I got you guys all caught up. Is there anything you're wanting to see before I go today? I just would love, you know, I'm trying to think of what else to show you with the pencils, but I really think that they're overall a great pencil. While you guys might be thinking of some questions, I'll talk a little bit about my free lesson for the new people that are here. I do have some oh, I have the unicorn pastels. Let me tell you about this, and I'm going to show you the unicorn pastels that I got from the Golden Residency right after this short message. my little ad. But if you guys are wanting a real great intro to pan pastel, I have a free introductory to pan pastel lesson on my website. You have to subscribe to my newsletter. Once you're subscribed, you'll get a link, and then you'll have to join the free library section. And I have this enchanted mushroom. It comes with a 16-page PDF download giving you all of my favorite colors, what I suggest to get started with, how you can get started with even 12 colors. It is a great intro. This lesson's only 5 colors, so it's an easy way in to help you have a positive experience with pan pastel. And to be quite honest, that's my whole goal here is I never had anybody to look at when I was learning 7 years ago. I'm 8 years, it's actually been 8 years. So on the 18th of January, it'll be 8 years of me using pan pastel. And what I have created is a Pastel Insider membership to really help guide you along the way on your journey. I give you line art, I give you step-by-step instruction that is really, I feel, breaks it down nicely and makes it easy for you guys to learn. So this is an insight to kind of see how I teach, and you can check that out. So I'm going to put that into the chat here so you can sign up if you're interested, if you're new. I know I have a lot of people watching the replay. So if you are watching the replay, I would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below. Tell me what you think about the Sennelier Woodless Pastel pencils, and anything that you want to tell about me. I will do my best to reply. I still have to catch up on some of that since I've been gone. But, okay, here we go here. Oh, Jonas is here. Hi, Jonas. Welcome. So glad that you're here. Oh, Peg just ordered them. She can't wait to have some fun. That's awesome, Peg. So glad. All right, you guys. So I have this free lesson in there. Check that out. I just put the link in here. There it goes. I think it might have gone. So if you want to check that out, it's free. It's completely free. All right. So I'm going to show you the unicorn pastels I got from Golden. And I got a little story about them. I'm going to take a drink of water. So when we were at Golden, we were at we did a tour of their manufacturing facility. And we got to go and see where pan pastel's made, all of the stuff, the packaging, how they box them, how they ship them, the whole thing. And it was pretty amazing. I wish I got to see pan pastel actually being made at that day, but they had a problem with their machine. But being able to see all the facilities where all the paint was made was quite phenomenal. The history behind like Williamson oil paint was fascinating, and it was just amazing. Let's see. Oh, I can answer that too. Did you answer if Goldens are making a Dawn set, says Louise. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that, but I'm going to tell you the unicorn story first. So the unicorn story, we're walking through, we're going, and then Emma Golden, she was with us the whole time, and she runs the whole foundation for Golden. And she's there, and one of the people say there, oh, check these out, they're unicorn. She didn't say they were unicorn, they're pastel leftovers from pan pastel. So I am jumping out of my skin because, look, I have a box, guys. Wait till you see them. So they're showing us these things, and they're like, oh, you can't have these. They're not for sale. And I'm like, you guys should be selling these. You guys could do limited runs of these leftover pastels and make money by selling them as limited. So these are my unicorn pastels. Let me lower the light. Oh, well, it's pretty low. So I will unbox them all and show them off. This is the red and the orange. Oh my God, right? Right? I'm so excited about these. I can't even express. They don't even have labels. So this guy, I guess his name is like Brandon or something when he works in there, and he makes these. Look at the colors I got, guys. My favorite pan pastel combo. This is the turquoise with my favorite magenta. I don't think I'm going to use them. I think I'm going to frame them. I don't know. What would you guys do with them? For me, I thought of maybe putting them in a shadow box and framing them. I just don't know if I want to use them. So I got 3 of them. There was 3 of us artists there, and we got to hand pick which ones we wanted. So these are my unicorn pastels. I mean, come on, they make you a little giddy, right? I know, right? So I am stoked. I have these 3. So I'm curious to see what you guys would do with them. Would you use them? I should do a poll. Let me do a poll. I want to know, I got 34 of you, 35 of you here. I want to know if you would use them or frame them or other. I think that would be hilarious. Let's see here. So we're going to do a little poll. Okay. What would you do with the unicorn pan pastels? So I'm curious to know what you guys would do with them. I would say, would you use them? Would you frame them? Okay. Or add an option. So if you do other, you have to put in chat what you would do. Okay, here we go. There's a poll coming up. I always love a good poll. We gotta do a good poll when we can do a good poll. We got a few here. Okay, so the chat, it should come up. We got 67% already saying they would use them. Heather would frame them. Paula's giddy about them. Susan Thames is wowing them. Hi, Susan. Have I not said hi to you? I said hi to you. You were the first one here today. All of a sudden, I'm like, did I say hi to Susan? Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you're here, Susan. Francine would shadow box them. I kind of thought so. Stacy, hello, Stacy. I think I've said hi to you. I hope I have. Thank you for this wonderful demo on the pencils. You are welcome. I know, right, Michelle? They're kind of crazy. Let's see. And then I'll talk about the set. I would get 2 sets. Wait, I would get 2 sets of it and save 1 to use in the... I can't get 2. These are unicorns, Jonas. I can't get any more. These aren't for sale. They're not for sale. I got these at Golden for the special residency thing. Wait, I got to know what you guys would do with them. Tell me what you think. I'll put them in that little window right there. And then I'll answer some more. Ruth says she would use them. Karen says she would definitely frame them in a shadow box. Use them for a bit and then frame them before they're worn down. Oh, I like that one, Francine. I like that one. I will be happy if I can buy the 53 new ones. Okay, you guys are talking about something. Make a trophy, says Paula. Well, you're a 3D artist. I don't think I'm going to... You're funny. I like that. They made intentionally but not sold. So why did they make them just for gifts? Oh, Chrisella, the person that works there just started making them. Like they're leftover pan pastel. And they were like, oh, check these out. They're making these with just leftovers. So that's why they have no labels or anything. They're just using older things. And then they were just making them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys could sell these. Like I was telling them, like you can sell these. So they weren't selling them. And that's that's the crazy thing about them, right? Because they're super yummy. I mean, look at that. Should I swipe one? I don't know. Let's see where the okay, I got 48% that says use them. That is, I have 23 votes, and there's 43 of you guys here. 43. So what would you do? Would you frame them? Use them? We got an other, so if you're an other, you have to put what you would do with them in chat. I would use them judiciously. Judiciously. Oh, wow. I have to figure, I'm scared to even set them here. Like, I don't want them to like roll off, but I want to take the covers off so you guys can see them better because they're so pretty. I can't believe that they're there. So let's see. Yes, swipe right. I'll swipe one of them. It's not going to kill it. Flames with the yellow orange, the aurora borealis, turquoise and magenta. Yeah, it's crazy. Icy unicorn, yes, I would save them too. Stacy says, oh my God, lovely. I would use them until they look even better, then frame them. I like that, MJ. I have always been the use the fine china daily kind of person, says Laura. You know, Laura, I'm the same way. I'm the same way. Yeah, they're just, they gave the gifts. I was surprised she gave them to us. So I'm going to use one of them, and I'm going to do my favorite one. And just for you guys, I'm going to use one. And let's see. I feel like, though, if I do this, I need to get a new wand. So let me get a new wand. Put a new wand. This is my favorite wand. It's the oval wand. So I'm going to use the unicorn pastel. I've been so excited to share these with you guys. Okay, so this is the turquoise and magenta. Now what we were always curious about was does the pastel, yeah, so it does smear. And then when it comes on, it mixes. So if I would clean them up to get them back again, oh wow. So that's pretty cool. So if I want to get it to be back pure again, I think I would have to like dab it off. Let's see. Yeah, I can get it back to looking pretty crisp again. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, unicorn pastels. There's only, that I know of, 9 out there in the world right now because each one of us got to pick 3 and there was 3 of us. So that was quite fun. Let me put them right here. Let me catch up on chat. Don't swipe it. I did it, Karen. I did it. It's okay. It's okay. That I don't think they will look so nice once swiped. So you can see they don't look too bad. I think I can pat that off and it's totally almost back to normal. See, because it's all layered. So I don't think it damaged it, but I do think once you swipe it, it would look smeared in there. So I'm kind of thinking I might not use them heavily. So let's see. We got 52%. I'm going to end the poll. So 52% said use them, frame them 28%, and others was 20. And that was 25 votes. So Tricia says, I'm a framer, so I definitely would frame them as a memory of the residency. Yeah, I think I'm going to frame them. I have a few things that I want to frame. Francine says, oh, you're so kind to share this eek moment with us. I know, right? That was fun. Of course I'm going to share it with you guys. Who else am I going to share it with? You guys are like my community. I mean, I honestly, I don't have like any local friends that are pan pastel people, so it's pretty cool. It did go back as brand new. They're missing an amazing opportunity. Those would sell for sure. I know, Clark, right? Clark, is this your first time in chat? Welcome to chat. So glad that you're here. Yeah, I think that they're really missing, but he didn't have a ton of them. He had like 24 of them. And I don't know if they had more, but they were pretty amazing. Golden are about to get a mass Dawn Peeps messages making unicorn pastels. And we so appreciate you sharing them. Well, you're welcome. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the palette because I get asked a lot about the palette. So I have told you guys that Golden did license a video from me of sharing the brand new colors and all of that. And I have worked with them, and I've gotten 4 palettes of 20, but I am curating them on my own. So I have sent them the colors I want, and then I've curated them, and I'm doing some giveaways. So for people in the US, I'll be doing those giveaways over the year, and they will be the 20 palette. I'm also hoping to curate some more of them with seeing how they do. I'm not selling them, so but I do in my free library have a list of my top 20 colors. So with that, I'm going to be packaging that up. I have them all. They've been sent to me from Golden, and I hope to be doing some giveaways with them. That's my plan, and then we'll see where that goes. So when I do these giveaways coming up in this next year, I'm also going to be giving away some membership opportunity to my Pastel Insider membership. So even if you have a membership now, you can use it for your membership or whatever in that regards. Like we will work that out. But everyone's able to enter then from the whole world. So I'll be giving away Pastel Insider memberships too, like a 3 or 6 month membership. So with that, that's what I'm going to be using these palettes for, is to promote my Pastel Insider membership and to show them. So I have them all. They're in boxes. I have to put them, they're all put together. Golden sent them to me in full clamshells made. They're just not branded. So maybe down the road, if it goes well, and people are asking for the Dawn Vanderstoop, getting started palette, we'll see if one gets created. So I don't know officially how that all works, or if they're even doing it because they bought Pan Pastel in 2022. I don't know if they've done any new ones since then. But I am working my own magic and getting it figured out. So that's kind of the story with the palette. Let's see. They are art in themselves. Frame them. I think I'm going to be framing them as like a memory for sure, Cheryl. Louise says, yay, I had forgotten you told us about that. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So we will see where that kind of unfolds. I think I'm going to know more after a year and just see, me being able to kind of define that these are the colors I'm using for most of my lessons and my classes inside my membership. And so I'll be able to promote more what my favorite 20 colors are. So you do have a taste of that in the free lesson already. So yeah. So if there's any other questions, I'm going to be signing off here soon. I appreciate all your patience with my first live back. I think I did the live for Golden probably the 2nd week of December, and then I haven't done a live since then. So it just feels really good to be back. So I'm just so grateful to have all of you here. I mean, so many people that have been here since the beginning. I'd say 2025 has been hard on a lot of us, but I've learned a lot, and I definitely feel like I'm getting a direction with my art and my community and my Pastel Insider that I'm really excited about for 2026. So having direction and clarity, I think, is a huge gift in itself. And so I'm just really grateful that you guys are here and that you've been a part of this journey for so long, some of you for quite a while now. And just thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Let's see here. Oh, what's up with Karen? This has been fun. Got to run and feed hubby. He's home this week. He fell on the ice up in New York last week. 3 ribs. I'm so sorry, Karen. Sending you lots of love and support. You should make a memory box from your residency. The key item might be the unicorn pastels. I like that, MJ. Yeah, sending Karen lots of love there for your husband. Thank you, Dawn. So great to be back with you. Chrisella says, I'm going to be doing a painting this year. Awesome, Chrisella. Chrisella, I gotta email you. I have some stuff I want to chat with you about too. So just know you have an email coming. Thank you, Paula. So good to see you too. Glad that you're here. Thank you, Michelle. Just thank you, everybody. This was a fun exploration. I definitely love the pencils. I hope you enjoyed just having some fun. Oh, Louise, thanks for buying me a chai tea. Thank you, Louise. That's so sweet. Aw. Oh yeah, I'll be back. Let me just look at the calendar real quick. I'm doing the 1st and 3rd weeks for everything. So that goes with my Pastel Insider membership, lessons release, and with my lives. So the next one will be the 20th. So I will set your calendars. We'll be back. I don't know what we're going to be doing yet, but we will see. And I look forward to seeing you guys then. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Louise. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you. It's been such a fabulous time. And I also wanted to thank Michelle for the super chat and Louise. So I really appreciate it. It's been a long time since I had a super chat. All right, guys. Take care. Bye, Monique. All the way from Germany. That's so cool. Bye, MJ. Bye, Karen. Bye, Laura. Bye, Michelle, Paula, Chrisella, Francine, Susan Thames. Gosh, we got quite a few of you in here today. Cheryl, Clark. It's awesome. Laura and Trisha. So it's been wonderful. So nice to see you all. All right. Take care. Bye, Ruth. So glad you made it here today. Take care.